Tyra Banks has filed a lawsuit against Netflix over a recent documentary. Banks says the team behind Reality Check, Inside America's Next Top Model, edited her interviews to create a false narrative. She says she was interviewed for over 3 hours, but only 16 minutes was used.
Many people know Tyra Banks as one of the most influential supermodels and television personalities in the world. From dominating the fashion runways to creating hit reality TV shows, she built a reputation for confidence, creativity, and success. For years, fans have admired her bold journey and powerful presence in entertainment. But now, after her recent comments about Netflix, a shocking situation has left many people talking. But what exactly did Tyra Banks reveal about Netflix? Why are fans calling it bad? And how could this affect her legacy? Tyra Banks' defamation lawsuit against Netflix. Tyra Banks is reportedly taking legal action against Netflix for defamation. She claims she was misled and poorly portrayed in a Netflix documentary about America's Next Top Model. According to the lawsuit, Tyra agreed to take part in the documentary because she believed it was important to speak honestly about the show's history, including its successes and its mistakes. She also wanted to take responsibility for parts of the show where she felt she could have done better, and she expected viewers to hear her perspective directly. The legal filing says that she was not restricted during the interview process and was allowed to discuss any topic. She took part in a long interview that lasted about 3 hours. During that time, she spoke about the show's impact, its early success, and also reflected on decisions she might handle differently today. However, she claims that only about 16 minutes of her interview were actually used in the final documentary. She further argues that the selected clips were edited misleadingly. The lawsuit says the footage was taken out of context, rearranged, and combined in a way that created a false and damaging story about her that does not match what she actually said. Tyra claims this editing created a narrative that she was responsible for serious misconduct on the show, which she strongly denies. One of the main disputes involves how certain sensitive incidents were presented. Tyra says that in one situation she discussed being unaware or not fully involved in a moment that had already happened. But the documentary allegedly framed it as if she ignored or supported wrongdoing. The lawsuit also says the program suggested she allowed harmful behavior on set and later failed to remember it, which she calls completely untrue. She also disputes claims connected to a contestant who alleged assault during filming. The documentary reportedly included clips where Tyra appeared to acknowledge awareness of the situation, but she insists her role was misrepresented and that she did not handle the situation in the way the final cut suggests. Her legal team argues that selective editing and missing context made it look like she mishandled serious allegations for entertainment value, which she denies. Another issue raised in the lawsuit is a claim that production was shut down due to misconduct on set. Tyra argues this is also inaccurate. She says that when a crew member reported inappropriate behavior by a cast member, she immediately passed the information to higher executives. According to her account, the issue was taken seriously, escalated properly, and production was paused so the cast and crew could undergo harassment training. She says this shows she acted responsibly rather than ignoring the problem. The lawsuit also states that Netflix presented a false narrative through selective editing and omission, portraying her negatively and misleadingly to a global audience. Tyra is asking for a jury trial to determine how much compensation she should receive for damages caused by the documentary. Reports also suggest she believes the documentary was framed as factual, but viewers instead received a constructed storyline rather than a fully balanced account. She argues that audiences were led to believe the content was entirely accurate, which increased the harm to her reputation. As of now, it is unclear how Netflix will formally respond in court, and the case is still developing. What is Tyra Banks' background? Did she have a humble start? Let's find out. Tyra Banks, biography. Tyra Lynn Banks was born on December 4, 1973, in the city of Inglewood, California. She grew up in a family that encouraged hard work and learning. Her mother, Carolyn London, who later became Carolyn London Johnson, worked as a medical photographer. Her father, Donald Banks, worked as a computer consultant. Tyra also has an older brother named Devin, who is 5 years older than her. When Tyra was still very young, her family went through a major change. In 1979, when she was only 6 years old, her parents divorced. Although this was a difficult experience, Tyra continued to grow up surrounded by the support and care of her family. As she got older, she focused on her education and attended John Burroughs Middle School. Later, she went to Immaculate Heart High School in Los Angeles, where she completed her studies and graduated in 1991. Despite later becoming one of the most famous models in the world, Tyra did not always feel confident about her appearance. During her childhood and early teenage years, she often faced teasing from other children. She has spoken openly about how people made fun of the way she looked and how awkward she felt growing up. Tyra described herself as an ugly duckling, a term often used for someone who does not fit traditional beauty standards when they are young, but later grows into their appearance. One of the biggest changes in her life happened when she was 11 years old. In a very short period of time, she experienced a major growth spurt. Within just 3 months, she grew 3 inches taller and lost 30 pounds. Such a rapid physical change made her stand out even more among her classmates. Instead of helping her fit in, it sometimes made her feel different and uncomfortable. However, these experiences later helped her develop strength, confidence, and understanding toward others who struggled with self-esteem. As Tyra's career grew, she became known for encouraging people to embrace their unique looks and feel proud of who they are. She often shared stories about her own challenges with confidence and body image, hoping to inspire others not to let criticism define them. Years later, while appearing on the television show America's Next Top Model, Tyra discussed the results of a genealogical DNA test she had taken through Ancestry.com. The test gave her a detailed look at her family background and ancestry. According to the results, her heritage was made up of approximately 79% African ancestry, 14% British ancestry, and 6% Native American ancestry. Tyra later spoke more about the results during an interview. She explained that the DNA test also showed she had 1% Finnish ancestry. Summarizing the results, she said that she was 14% British, 6% Native American, 1% Finnish, and that the remaining percentage of her ancestry was African. Learning more about her roots gave her a deeper understanding of her family history and the many cultures that contributed to her identity. Although Tyra achieved enormous success in the fashion and entertainment industries, she never stopped looking for opportunities to learn and improve herself. She believed that education and personal growth were important at every stage of life, regardless of how successful a person becomes. This commitment to learning led her to enroll in a business education program at Harvard University. In February 2012, she completed a 9-week course in Harvard University's Owner/President Management Extension program. The program was designed to help business owners and leaders strengthen their management and leadership skills. While it was not a degree program, it provided valuable training in business strategy, leadership, and decision-making. By taking part in the course, Tyra demonstrated that she wanted to expand her knowledge beyond modeling and television. She was interested not only in being a successful entertainer, but also in becoming a stronger entrepreneur and business leader. From a young girl who struggled with teasing and self-confidence to an internationally recognized model, television personality, businesswoman, and entrepreneur, Tyra Banks' journey has been shaped by determination, resilience, and a willingness to keep growing. How did she start her modeling career? Did she have a passion for it from childhood? Let's take a closer look. Tyra Banks' modeling journey. Tyra Banks began her journey into the world of modeling when she was just 15 years old. At the time, she was a student at Immaculate Heart High School in Los Angeles. Like many young people trying to enter the competitive fashion industry, her path was not easy at first. Several modeling agencies turned her down, and she faced rejection from 4 different agencies before finally being given a chance. Her determination paid off when she signed with LA Models, marking the beginning of a career that would eventually make her one of the most famous models in the world. When Tyra was 16, she moved to Elite Model Management, a larger and more prestigious modeling agency. Soon afterward, she received an opportunity that would change her life. She was offered work in Europe, which was considered one of the most important places for fashion models at the time. Excited about the opportunity, she moved to Milan, Italy, to pursue her career. Tyra quickly made a strong impression in the fashion industry. During her very first runway season in Europe, she achieved something remarkable. At the 1991 Paris Fashion Week, She was booked for 25 fashion shows. This was an incredible accomplishment for a young model who was just beginning her career. Designers and fashion experts quickly noticed her beauty, confidence, and ability to stand out on the runway. As her popularity grew, Tyra appeared in many of the world's most respected fashion magazines. Her photographs and fashion stories were featured in editions of Vogue published in the United States, Italy, France, and Spain. She also appeared in Elle magazines from several countries, including the United States, France, Germany, and Spain. In addition, she was featured in Harper's Bazaar editions from the United States, Germany, and Malaysia. Her work also appeared in other well-known publications such as V, and Vanity Fair. These appearances helped establish her as one of the leading faces in international fashion. Tyra's success continued as she appeared on the covers of many popular magazines. Readers could find her on the front pages of publications such as Elle, Harper's Bazaar, Spanish Vogue, Cosmopolitan, and 17. Being chosen for magazine covers was a sign that she had become one of the industry's most sought-after models. She also walked the runway for many of the biggest fashion designers and luxury brands in the world. Throughout her modeling career, she appeared in fashion shows for famous names including Chanel, Oscar de la Renta, Yves Saint Laurent, Anna Sui, Christian Dior, Donna Karan, Calvin Klein, and many others. Walking for such prestigious designers helped strengthen her reputation as a top model. At the same time, Tyra became a favorite choice for advertising campaigns. She promoted products and brands including Yves Saint Laurent, Dolce & Gabbana, Escada, Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren, Halston, H&M, XOXO, Swatch, Versace, Christian Lacroix, Victoria's Secret, Got Milk, Pepsi, and Nike. These campaigns made her face recognizable to millions of people around the world. A major milestone came in 1993 when she signed a contract with CoverGirl Cosmetics. This partnership led to a series of successful advertising campaigns and increased her visibility even further. During an era when the fashion industry lacked diversity, Tyra became one of only a small number of black models to reach the highest level of success and earn the title of supermodel. By the middle of the 1990s, she returned to the United States and focused more on commercial modeling. This move helped her connect with a broader audience beyond the world of high fashion. Tyra also broke several important barriers in the modeling industry. She became the first black woman to appear on the cover of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, a groundbreaking achievement that inspired many aspiring models. She was also the first African-American woman to appear on the cover of GQ magazine. These accomplishments helped challenge long-standing industry norms and opened doors for greater representation in fashion and media. In 1997, her achievements were recognized when she won the VH1 Award for Supermodel of the Year. That same year, she made history again by becoming the first African-American woman chosen for the cover of the Victoria's Secret catalog. She also became one of the famous Victoria's Secret Angels, further increasing her global fame. In 2010, Tyra reunited with her former agency, IMG Models. She also contributed articles and content to the Vogue Italia website, showing her influence beyond modeling alone. In 2013, she worked with fashion photographer Udo Spreitzenbarth on a creative project in which she transformed herself to resemble 15 different supermodels. After stepping away from modeling for a period, Tyra surprised fans in 2019 by returning to pose for one of the 3 covers of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. It was her 3rd cover for the magazine and came 22 years after her first appearance on its cover. Around that time, she announced that she would use the modeling name Banks, although she later stopped using it. In 2024, Tyra made another exciting comeback. She returned to the runway after retiring from fashion shows and appeared in the Victoria's Secret fashion show. But how did she switch over to a television career? Or is she combining it with modeling? Let's find out. Tyra Banks' TV career. Tyra Banks began her television career during the 4th season of the TV sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She played Jackie Ames, an old friend of the show's main character, Will Smith. Her role became popular with viewers, and she appeared in 7 episodes of the series. As her fame grew, Banks appeared in many other television shows. She made guest appearances on programs such as Felicity, All That, Mayday TV, Wild 'N Out, and The Price is Right. On Wild 'N Out, she served as a special guest host and team captain. She also appeared on The Price is Right as one of the famous Barker's Beauties. In addition, she was featured in an episode of the animated talk show Space Ghost Coast to Coast called Chinatown. Banks later expanded her career by starting her own production company. The company was first called Tai Baby Productions, but was later renamed Bankable Productions. Through this company, she helped create and produce several successful projects, including The Tyra Banks Show, America's Next Top Model, and the 2008 film The Click. She also served as executive producer, host, and judge on America's Next Top Model, helping turn it into one of the most popular reality shows of its time. In 2005, Banks launched The Tyra Banks Show, a daytime talk show aimed mainly at young women. The show covered topics such as fashion, beauty, relationships, and personal growth. It premiered on September 12, 2005, and remained on the air until May 28, 2010. Her work on the show earned her major recognition. In 2008, Banks won a Daytime Emmy Award for her role as both host and producer of The Tyra Banks Show. She won the award again in 2009, making it her second consecutive victory in the category of Outstanding Informative Talk Show. Banks also built a successful acting career in movies. Her first major film role came in 1994, when she appeared in the drama Higher Learning. She later starred alongside Lindsay Lohan in Disney's Life Size, playing Eve, a doll who magically comes to life. The movie became a fan favorite and introduced Banks to a new generation of viewers. Over the years, she appeared in several other films, including Love Stinks, 1999, Love and Basketball, 2000, Coyote Ugly, 2000, Halloween, Resurrection, 2002, and Hannah Montana, the movie, 2009. These roles helped establish her as more than just a model and television personality. Banks continued appearing on television throughout her career. She played the role of Ursula Nyquist, an extravagant actress, in an episode of Gossip Girl. She also appeared on the Disney Channel series Shake It Up, where she played a school librarian. In 2012, reports revealed that Banks was developing a comedy series for ABC called Fivehead. The show was inspired by her experiences growing up as a teenager. Although the project generated interest, it never became a long-running series. In 2015, Banks joined the daytime talk show Fabe Life. She appeared alongside model Chrissy Teigen, fashion expert Joe Z, interior designer Lauren Mack, and YouTube personality Leah Ashley. However, Banks left the show less than 3 months after it began, so she could focus on growing her cosmetics business. In 2018, she returned to acting by starring in Life Size 2, the sequel to the original movie. The film premiered on Freeform on December 2, 2018. Around the same time, she signed a production deal with Universal Television and announced plans to executive produce Beauty, a documentary series. Banks continued expanding her television career. In July 2020, she was announced as the new host of Dancing with the Stars. The following month, she signed another major deal with ABC Signature. After hosting the show for 3 seasons, she announced in March 2023 that she would leave to focus more on her business ventures and other professional opportunities. In 2025, Banks appeared in the reboot of the classic game show Hollywood Squares. That same year, it was announced that she would be featured in a Netflix documentary about America's Next Top Model. The documentary, titled Reality Check: Inside America's Next Top Model, was released in February 2026. However, the documentary later became the center of controversy. In June 2026, Banks filed a lawsuit against Netflix and the producers of the documentary. She claimed that her interview footage had been selectively edited in a way that created a misleading and damaging portrayal of her. How was her private life? Did she raise a family? Let's find out. Tyra Banks' personal life. During the 2010s, Tyra Banks was in a relationship with Norwegian photographer Erik Asle. The couple wanted to have a child together, but they faced difficulties because Banks struggled with infertility. They tried several times to have a baby through in vitro fertilization, IVF, but those efforts were unsuccessful. In January 2016, their son, York Banks Asla, was born through gestational surrogacy, allowing them to finally become parents. Banks has also shared that she rarely drinks alcohol and has never used recreational substances. Over the years, Banks has spoken openly about experiencing abusive relationships in her past. In 2005, while discussing her dating history, she explained that one particular relationship involved not only cheating, but also emotional abuse. Although she chose not to reveal names, she described the experience as very painful and difficult. At the same time, she said that overcoming those challenges helped make her stronger as a person. In 2009, Banks spoke further about her past experiences when she appeared as a guest host alongside Oprah Winfrey on The Oprah Winfrey Show. The episode focused on dating violence and abusive relationships. It was created in response to the widely discussed assault of Rihanna by Chris Brown. During the program, Banks opened up about her own experiences and joined the conversation about the serious impact of relationship abuse. In January 2025, Banks faced another major personal loss when her home in Los Angeles was destroyed in the Palisades fire. At the time of the disaster, she and her boyfriend, Louis Belanger Martin, were in Australia. Aside from her work in entertainment and business, Banks has also pursued higher education. In 2012, she completed the Owner/President Management Program, OPM, at Harvard Business School. The program is a 9-week executive education course designed for business leaders and company owners. After Banks mentioned in an interview that she was attending Harvard, some news organizations published articles explaining that the OPM program is different from the university's well-known MBA degree program. Around the same time, Harvard professor Rohit Deshpande was preparing a case study about Banks's company, Bankable Productions. However, the study was intended to be used as teaching material for future students in the OPM program, highlighting Banks's achievements as an entrepreneur and businesswoman. So, is she involved in supporting others? What philanthropic work has she done? Let's take a closer look. Tyra Banks Empowerment Programs. Tyra Banks has done more than build a successful career in modeling and television. She has also spent years helping young girls gain confidence, develop important life skills, and believe in themselves. In 2000, Banks created the first T-Zone program, a special week-long camp designed for girls between the ages of 13 and 15. The camp was completely free for participants, with all expenses covered. Its goal was to provide young girls with guidance and support during an important stage of their lives. Many teenagers struggle with issues such as self-esteem, body image, and peer pressure, and Banks wanted to create a safe environment where they could learn, grow, and feel empowered. At the camp, girls participated in activities and discussions that focused on building confidence and developing a positive view of themselves. They were encouraged to appreciate their unique qualities and understand that beauty comes in many different forms. The program also helped them learn how to handle challenges, make good decisions, and develop a stronger sense of self-worth. Banks believed that young women should feel proud of who they are and have the confidence to pursue their goals and dreams. As the program became more successful, Banks decided to expand its mission. In 2005, T-Zone evolved from a summer camp into a public charity known as the T-Zone Foundation. This change allowed the organization to reach even more young women and provide support throughout the year, rather than only during a single week-long camp. The T-Zone Foundation focused on helping young women become leaders and develop skills that would benefit them throughout their lives. The organization offered programs and resources designed to teach leadership, communication, teamwork, goal setting, and personal responsibility. It encouraged girls to believe in their abilities and take an active role in shaping their futures. The Foundation's mission was based on the idea that confidence and leadership skills are just as important as academic success. Banks wanted young women to understand that they could overcome obstacles, achieve their ambitions, and make a positive impact in their communities. Through workshops, mentoring opportunities, and educational activities, the The foundation worked to inspire girls to reach their full potential. In addition to founding the Zone Foundation, Banks also established the Tyra Banks Scholarship. This scholarship program was created to help African American girls gain access to quality education. Banks understood that many talented students face financial challenges that can make attending a good school difficult. By creating the scholarship, she hoped to remove some of those barriers and open doors for deserving young women. The scholarship provided African American girls with the opportunity to attend Immaculate Heart High School, the school Banks herself attended as a teenager. She often spoke about how her education played an important role in shaping her future, and she wanted other young women to have similar opportunities. Through the scholarship, students could receive support that might otherwise have been unavailable to them. Banks's charitable work reflects her commitment to helping the next generation succeed. While many people know her as a supermodel, television personality, and businesswoman, she has also dedicated time and resources to supporting young women. Through the Zone Foundation and the Tyra Banks Scholarship, she worked to promote confidence, leadership, education, and personal growth. By giving girls the tools, support, and opportunities they need to succeed, she hoped to help them build brighter futures and realize their full potential. What is Tyra Banks's net worth? How did she make such a fortune? Let's find out. Tyra Banks's net worth. As of 2026, Tyra Banks is believed to have a total net worth of about $90 million. This estimate comes from public reports such as Just Jared, which tracks celebrity earnings and financial growth over time. Her wealth did not come from just one job or one period of her life. Instead, it was built slowly through many different careers, business moves, and long-term success in entertainment and media. Early in her career, Tyra Banks made a large amount of money as a fashion model. She worked on runways and photo shoots all over the world. During those years, she signed major contracts with well-known fashion and beauty companies. For example, she worked with Victoria's Secret, one of the most famous lingerie brands in the world, and also became a face for CoverGirl, a popular makeup company. These deals helped her earn millions of dollars and made her one of the top models of her time. However, modeling was only the beginning of her financial success. Over time, she moved away from being just a runway and photo model and stepped into television and business. This change turned out to be very important for her long-term income. While modeling gave her fame and early wealth, television and business ventures became the main sources of her fortune. One of the biggest reasons for her wealth is the reality TV show America's Next Top Model. Tyra Banks created this show, produced it, and also hosted it. It first started in 2003 and quickly became very popular in the United States and later around the world. The show focused on finding new modeling talent and teaching them how the fashion industry works. As the show grew in popularity, it began making a large amount of money from advertisements. Companies paid to have their products shown during episodes because so many people were watching. The program also became an international franchise, meaning that different countries created their own versions of it. This expansion brought in even more income through licensing deals and royalties. Even after the show stopped airing new episodes, it continued to generate money in different ways because of its global reach and long-lasting popularity. In addition to this major success, Tyra Banks also earned money from other television projects. One important example is The Tyra Banks Show, a daytime talk show where she discussed real-life issues, interviewed guests, and shared advice. This show also added to her income and strengthened her presence in the television industry. Beyond hosting and producing, she also appeared in films and television shows during the 1990s and 2000s. These acting roles were not her main source of wealth, but they still contributed to her overall earnings and helped her build a stronger entertainment career. Outside of television and modeling, Tyra Banks also explored different business opportunities. She invested in several ventures, including beauty products and real estate. These investments helped her grow her money in a more stable and long-term way, instead of relying only on entertainment work. One of her more recent business ideas is Smize and Dream, an ice cream company that reflects her interest in lifestyle branding and consumer products. Through this brand, she entered the food and retail market, showing that her career is not limited to modeling or television anymore. So, what do you think about Tyra Banks' legal action against Netflix? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.